You start off the book by defining things like postmodernism and continental philosophy, and you even talk about how those things are, you use them interchangeably in the book.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little bit more about that, and then and how they're used in the book?
Yeah. So what I mean by the term postmodernism, and when I say this, when I'm debating other academics and things, they'll be like, well, what do you mean by postmodernism? And I'll give this definition and they'll go, oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds right. So, and
Yeah.
and this really is, and I actually think postmodernism is this huge term, but it actually is pretty simple. It's very simply, if you take modernism to mean, and modern philosophy is, Descartes, Kant, the Enlightenment thinkers, rationalism, rational philosophy. Postmodernism is post-rationalism or post-reason. That is, it's a critique of rationality. That's what every postmodern thinker has in common. Now, why they critique it, how they critique it, their response to it differs slightly, but it's pretty much that wholesale critique of reason, which begins with Kant, a little bit of Kierkegaard, Marx is in there, but it really starts off, it really gets, going, I would say, systematically, if you can use that term, with Nietzsche, okay, and with German thinkers. So Nietzsche, let me say this: what postmodernism ended up being was the French reception after World War II of German thinking in the late 19th, 20th century that was critical of reason. So Nietzsche and Heidegger in particular, okay? But that was going on since Kant, okay? But really, and one more thing I'll just say about this, what's used as postmodernism now, or what people tend to think of as postmodernism or postmodern thinkers would be the thinking that happened, as I said, in France after World War II, when philosophers are thinking, what the hell happened after the Holocaust? What explains this? How can we prevent this? But what explains this? And so there's this radical victimization that happened with the Nazis and with the Marxists. What happened? And reason and absolute truth became the sort of target. And so they used, I think, these French thinkers, Foucault, Derrida, used Sartre to some extent, de Beauvoir, used the critiques in Nietzsche and Heidegger to criticize rationality. And that's their sort of answer. And you'll see this everywhere, is that essentialism, reason, absolute truth, whatever you want to call it, categories, rational categories are the problem. And so if you can just get rid of those, then you'll have a sort of peace, because that's precisely what happened. What went wrong in the 20th century was that everyone thought they had the truth and then tried to ram it down people's throats. So that's it, pretty much, in what postmodernism is. It's got that anti-victimization ethic, and it's a critique of reason.